In the interest of Abel and Gabriella, no, we are here today for a motion. I think this is Mr. Noack's motion. We are live streaming and Ms. Taylor is making our record. Okay. We'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Angela Tidwell is the primacy specialist on this case. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Vince Noack on behalf of Tweeno. We're both present and ready, Judge.
Lorraine Lucero on behalf of the alleged father, Jesus Esquivel, Your Honor. I have not had any contact with him, but I'm ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Noack.
Not much to add other than what was in my motion, Judge. I did notice a moment ago there's a typo in paragraph number 1. I started out with a typo. Case was filed in 2024, not 2023. Twee has completed Senate Corps. She's living at Haven House. She's doing extremely well. I think this is the quintessential case of where a 180-day extension is not only appropriate. I think it ought to be required. I recognize she got off to an early start. However, here we are close to the dismissal date. She has completed inpatient rehab and she's doing well at Haven House, Judge. And she's here. We can answer any questions the court or counsel may have.
I don't think I have any, but I'll certainly allow the department to ask any questions or if just or present their position.
Your Honor, the department at this time would be in opposition to an extension. Ms. No was MIA for about 10 months throughout this case, 9 or 10 months in this case. At the last hearing on the stand, she admitted that while she was gone, she was using throughout that time. She has gone to drug treatment at this time. This is not the first time she's been through this. The children, especially the oldest child in this case, has been through this multiple times with mom. Mom has a history and a pattern of using, kids being removed, mom doing what she's supposed to, get the kids back, and then it's another cycle. As I said, I think that this is about the 3rd time this has happened to the older child. Probably has been out of mom's care almost, probably, I don't know the percentage on it, but probably close to half of life because of mom's cycle through this. We're just at a point to where mom has not proceeded enough in this case at this time and has admitted to, while she just left at the beginning of the case up until June, she was, I believe she said, hiding out and using at that time. When those questions were asked. So we do not believe it gives extraordinary circumstances in the best interest of the kids to extend at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Brief response, Judge?
Sure.
Thank you. Several months ago, I was in front of the court asking for a 180-day extension. I had a client at that point who had completed rehab at the very start of the case, and then she went missing in action. And I wrote the court's words down at that point, and the court said, I'm more inclined to give an extension when it's towards the end of the case, mom or dad have completed rehab and they're testing clean. I believe that's what we have here. I think this is, and I understand there's history here, but I can't deal with that history. I can just deal with what's in front of me. Mom has presented facts that I think entitle her to a 180-day extension. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lucero, anything?
No, Your Honor, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala, what's your position?
Your Honor, my position mirrors that of St. Francis. In addition to Gabby being out of her mother's care for a full 34 months of her 7 years, there were 2 children that before her that were removed and adopted. So this pattern goes on back before Gabby. Mom admitted in testimony at the last hearing that she would work these long-term programs, and within weeks of being out of those long-term programs, the children would be removed. So then we've got a situation where the kids had zero contact with mom for 10 full months. Just silence, radio silence. And they're 7 and 5. These are not dolls that can be placed down and just picked up. These are like apples being thrown down the stairs and bruised every time. That's going to take a lot to fix. And there's nothing about what's happened in this case that's extraordinary. It's actually very ordinary in mom's pattern. It's very ordinary. And everything that led up to that 10 months of silence for these kids, those were mom's decisions. And we haven't heard a thing about what mom intends to do to build back up these kids that are very broken at this point.
And I believe I did not start visitation back yet because we were so close to our
Yes, Your Honor.
dismissal
And the
date and
kids do have a therapist now. They have begun therapy. The court's order was that visitation not start back up until recommendation of the therapist. So it was actually a very, considering the wait list for therapists, things like that, it was a pretty quick turnaround getting them in from the time that mom made a reappearance. So they are actively working with a therapist, but we do not have that release yet.
And, you know, we actually have St. Francis here today. Miss Tidwell's here. Maybe it'd be helpful for her to chime in on her recommendations.
Ms. Tidwell, have you been in communication with her case manager or whatever their title is over at Haven? And
Yes, ma'am. I have spoken with Stephanie several times and also her case manager. She's actually graduating ARAD today. She's been in constant contact with me. She has begun services. There are no visits like that was stated. I have been in communication with their therapist, and the therapist is not recommending therapeutic visits at this time. She's only had 4 therapy sessions with Gabby and Abel. Sorry about that. But as of right now, Tweet is working towards rectifying the reason for removal.
is the baby placed with the other kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And I know we're not here on the baby's case, but it's a little hard to totally separate those things. So is that a legal risk placement?
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
Your
They
Honor.
are a legal risk placement. They were placed there August 12th.
All right, so fairly recently.
Your Honor, may I ask, what is a legal risk placement? I hear that. I've never had a case where they have had someone placed like that, so I wasn't sure what that is.
Generally means adoptive placement.
Okay.
I mean, y'all can elaborate on that if you want, but
Okay. No, I understand. Okay, thank you.
I think it has some more connotation than that, but I'm kind of boiling it down to where it really
Right,
lands.
okay.
So she started in the 2-year program, correct, at Haven House?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's her living situation there right now? Is she
Has her own space. And she's in a step-up program. And I believe after today, she's graduating to the 2nd level where she'll be able to go out and work.
So she'll be able to leave the facility, have a little more independence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we all know with freedom comes temptation and or responsibility.
Your Honor, if I may I ask Ms. No some questions?
Sure. You want me to put her under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. No, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear you'll tell the truth today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Okay.
Ms. No, have you ever worked a program from the Haven House?
Yes, sir, I have.
How many times have you worked that program?
This is my second time.
Okay. And the first time you worked it, which program did you work? Did you work the 2 or 3 year program?
No, I went to, the first time I was here at this one, and then the second time I went to Serenity House. And that's normally a 30-day program, but since I took my kids with me, I got to stay there for 90 days.
Okay. And that was at Serenity House you're talking about?
Yes, and I extended my stay there for 6 months.
Okay, so you did a 90-day program plus another 6 months, so a 9-month program there.
Yes.
And after that, when was that?
Last year.
Okay, so right before the children, or shortly before the children were removed this time?
Yes.
How long after leaving that 9-month program did you go back to using?
It happened within a month after leaving Plainview. I was gonna stay there and relocate it, but I had got with the kid's father, and I just slipped up and got back in my addiction with him.
Okay, so your answer is within a month of leaving the 9-month program, you were back using drugs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then when this case started, you just disappeared from the beginning of the case?
Yes, sir. I was lost. I was in my addiction real heavy.
Okay. And before the Serenity stay, what program did you work?
I didn't work a program. I was clean.
You were clean before that?
I believe I was clean for like almost 4 years.
Okay. How many times has Gabby been removed, or have you had CPS cases involving Gabby?
This is her 3rd time.
Okay. She's 7 years old?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in 7 years, she's gone in and out of CPS 3 times?
I believe so. I think so.
Okay. And you were using during all of those times?
Every time my kids got removed, I used that as an excuse to go out there and get higher.
Okay. So we've had this issue at least involving this child for the last 7 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have older children that are not in your care either, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were those children removed or adopted out due to drug issues?
Yes.
How long have you had a drug problem?
That was 13 years old.
Since you were 13? And how old are you now, Ms. Nutt?
I'm 37 and I'm done. I'm sorry.
So we've had a drug issue for 24 years now. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in that time, how many times is the Senecor and Serenity the only 2 times you've ever worked rehab?
Yeah, I didn't know about recovery until later on in life.
Okay. What is supposed to make us believe this is going to be the successful time?
I surrender, sir.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I'm surrendering everything, all I got. My kids need me, I need them, and I need God more than anything right now, but I'm working on it and I can't lose my kids.
And Ms. No, you understand, Gabby's needed you for the last 7 years.
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Noack, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I do have additional argument whenever the court's ready.
Okay. All right, anybody have any questions they want to ask? Ms.
Your
No?
Honor, I do, I have a couple.
Sure.
Ms. No, you'd stated that, one time when you, I guess, relapsed, you were with the kid's father. Was that Jesus Esquivel or someone else?
No, this was Lucas and Lucas's dad.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to be clear. And again, you testified before that, that as far as you know, Mr. Esquivel was deported back in April of 2020.
Just recently, I was on Facebook and I seen him. He commented on my photos, and I tried to hit him back up to ask where he was at, and he never responded.
Okay. Is there any way that you could maybe provide that Facebook information to Mr. Noack, and maybe and then I can maybe, well, I'll reach out to him and maybe he'll respond to me. Could you
Yes,
do
ma'am.
that for me? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll pass the witness.
What other services? Well, okay, hang on. I'm jumping ahead. Anybody else have any questions for Ms. No?
No, Your Honor.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Tidwell, what other services does she lack at this point?
Yes, ma'am. If you don't mind, let me just pull that up real quick.
No, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. She needs to complete an OSAR, her parenting classes. She has completed a psychosocial. I haven't received that back from Jennings yet. She needs to complete individual therapy and continue to drug screen, Your Honor.
All right, why do we need the OSAR when she's in the program she's in? And
Because in July, we had got a positive drug screen, but if we need to remove that, she did complete Synacor and she has tested negative after the July drug screen.
well, presumably they're doing all the similar assessments and all of that there at Haven.
Yes, ma'am.
So that seems, to be a duplication of effort at this point. If she left that program, that might be a different thing, obviously, but I think that's just, I don't think it's necessary. So let's consider that to be satisfied. All right, counseling. Is she not in counseling at Haven, in the Haven program?
She is.
Are we not accepting of that?
And staff with Michaela to make sure that we can accept those therapy notes. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, has she signed releases to let us have those?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so counseling, OSAR, what else did you say?
She needs to finish her parenting classes, and I need to get the recommendation from her psychosocial from Mr. Jennings to make sure she's following those recommendations.
Okay. My guess is that while she's in this program, she probably is. Parenting, is that something that she can be doing there while she's at Haven?
Yes, ma'am. She's doing online classes while she's at the Haven.
Okay, so she's doing them, she just hasn't completed them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And Judge, I do have a couple of more questions for Ms. No real quick.
Sure.
Ms. No, also during this current case we're working, when you were not cooperating and not talking to anybody, you had mentioned you were still using at that time, correct?
Absolutely.
And During that time, you were also pregnant with another child, correct?
Yes, sir. I was in denial. I didn't want to believe I was pregnant. I didn't get tested to see if I was pregnant.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
Okay, yeah, just answer what he's asked.
So that's a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that child has been removed from your care due to that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have a long history of, even while you were in a CPS case here, you were pregnant and still using while pregnant with another child. So you put another child in danger, even while you had a CPS case, 2 CPS cases ongoing, correct?
Yes.
How long do your children have to wait? How
That's
long?
argumentative, Judge.
I'll allow it. I think
Okay.
it's absolutely a fair question.
I don't know.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I do have 1 or 2 questions at this point.
Go ahead.
Ms. No, the counseling that you're receiving right now, is that centered on drug and alcohol abuse?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If these children were to return to your care, do you think it's important for you to have some intensive education in what you need to do to address their needs?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the counseling you're receiving right now is not focused on specific parenting issues and what you need to do with your children, but it is focused on your sobriety, which is important, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, I would just add that I think that any counseling needs to be added in. I mean, if we are looking at putting these kids back, it needs to be focused on what do you need to do for these kids? And then if and when the kids get to a point where they're ready to have visits, then absolutely a part of the service plan should be family therapy. But again, all that would require, that's only if an extension is granted in this point.
All right, anybody else have any questions for Ms. No?
I do, Your Honor. Ms. No, where you're staying there at the Haven House, do they offer counseling or classes for parenting, for folks like you that are parents that have gone through this and then they're trying to get better?
Yes,
they
ma'am.
have, they do? Okay.
Mhm.
And so are those types of classes or that type of counseling that's available to you so you could participate in that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
So Ms. No, as I understand it, is the longest program you ever stayed in was the 9 month?
No, I've been in this program and I've made it 2 years.
Okay,
Your
so
Honor,
you successfully completed it one
Yes,
other
ma'am.
time.
and Judge, I'd like to clarify on that because I thought that's what I asked earlier to make sure on that because I thought she had been through this program before. But Ms. No, you have done the Centacor program once before for 2 years,
No, this is the Haven House.
or excuse me, I mean the Haven House program, but you have done a 2-year program before?
Yes, sir.
And you've done-
I left at the last minute when I was gonna graduate. The last month I left before graduating it.
Okay, so you were in it 1 year and 11 months.
No, I made it the 2 years, but I didn't make it to my graduation.
Okay, and then you did a 9-month program,
Yes, sir.
and now you are
And-
back in another 2-year program.
Yes, but that was like, I think, I stayed clean out there for about a year after the program.
After the 2-year program?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. No, all this time, have you lived in this area?
Excuse me?
Have you lived in the Amarillo area throughout all this time?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, the same people are around. The same, distractions, the same pitfalls are out there.
Right.
I mean, what's your long-term plan? Beyond 2 years, what's your plan?
I am changing my people, places, and things. I'm working this program better than I ever have, and more than anything, I'm wanting to. Where before I felt like I just had to get my kids back, and now I just know that I need this and I want it in my heart. And if I plan to locate it, it won't be far. It'll be like in Canyon or somewhere like that. But,
Well, would that get you away from people and places and things that
What
you've gone
happened-
back to?
What happened last time is I was embarrassed when I left the program last time, so I isolated, and I didn't want to see any of my good friends because I was embarrassed of what I did. I had given some money away to this random guy. Something happened like that, and I was embarrassed to tell the people in the program what I have done, what I did. And I just never kept into contact, and they were my family. I stayed connected to them, and I knew I would stay clean with them, and I was just too embarrassed, and I just isolated and got in a relationship, and I got back in my addiction.
Okay, Mr. Novak, do you have any other witnesses today?
No witnesses, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lucero, anything else today?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Zavala, anything else?
Nothing further other than what's been stated.
I've got brief comments if the court wants to entertain them. I
Sure.
know, you know what I'm going to say. I'm pretty sure, Judge. We see relapse just about every day in this court and in the other court here in the area. And I would never suggest, and I don't think anyone on the screen would ever suggest, returning any child to an active drug user. And that's what Miss No was for a period of time. But the whole point of what we're doing here in all these cases is we operate on the belief and the true belief that people get better, which is why we provide them with services. In this case, Miss No is availing herself of those services, and she's getting better. I think she's entitled to the 180-day extension, Judge. Thank you so much.
Your Honor. Now I do have something to say. I agree with Mr. Noack. And I think there is a difference between Ms. No's position for her baby daughter right now. And we've talked a lot about Ms. No. Right now, her baby daughter doesn't have the trauma that the 7-year-old and the 5-year-old have. That to me looks like a different situation. I absolutely hope that she gets clean and stays clean, but we have to deal with the facts of each separate case. And the cases are in the interest of the children. So we now have 2 children who have been pretty devastated, and I don't know how we're going to build them up, but I do think you've got to take the kids into account in these cases.
And I agree with that. And I think that's just about in every case. I think the kids come first, obviously. But the whole basis of the family code, this part of the family code, is that we believe that parents can get better. In this particular case, Miss No is getting better. And I'm just asking the court for 180 days to continue to prove that to you.
Okay, well, and the statute, you know, says what everybody knows what it says. I don't have to read it to y'all. You know exactly what it says. And I think I have to look at the facts of this case, not necessarily what's happened in the past. Although that certainly is a factor, you know, I'm gonna tell you, I mean, your history it's absolutely relevant and it does matter to me. But I think the statute contemplates I've got to look at what's going on in the here and the now of this case. I'm going to grant the extension and find the extraordinary circumstances as the statute describes, because you have made a good faith effort to successfully complete a rehabilitation program.
Thank you.
I can't stress how much I agree with Ms. Zavala that, you know, you have inflicted an enormous amount of trauma on your children. And, you know, when it's all said and done 6 months from now, I mean, we'll set a new dismissal date and we'll set, obviously, you know, we won't go to trial next week. But when it's all said and done, you know, 6 months is not a whole lot of time to turn around all the best interest factors in this case. And Mr. Noack can talk to you about what that means. Because at the end of the day, my job is to do what is in the best interest of the children. But the legislature has also said there's certain things I have to do to work with parents. Okay. And the legislature is saying that louder and louder, that I have to do certain things to work with parents. So I'm gonna give you the extra 6 months, but how you use that's up to you. I don't want the fact that I've given this extension to you. I don't want you to read into that, you know, this puts you in a whole lot better position, because all of the same things are still out there and still exist and will still be considered, you know, 6 months from now. You know, we can't erase them. They are there forever. Okay. New dismissal date. Anybody got that figured out?
April 10th of 2026.
Okay. Miss Katie, when will we be up for another review then?
Do you mean after the October 9th review?
Yeah, I guess we'll have a review on the 9th. I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, do you think we've covered enough ground today we can enter a review order? What's left to cover?
Your Honor, I could go ahead and report that I've visited with the children. They are doing well. I've seen them in person, and the counseling is proceeding. So if that helps in terms of this being a review.
And Judge, I can ask Ms. Tidwell a couple of questions real quick.
Yeah, let's just do it now. I mean, this
Okay.
is crazy to get everybody back together in a matter of days.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Tidwell, outside of what we've discussed today, you've talked about the services mom still needs to do, and how her rehab is going. Anything else to report on mom?
Not at this moment. Everything's been reported for this case for Gabby and Abel. Like Stacy stated, they're doing great in their current placement. They're healthy, they're happy. And that's really all the updates we have. They are active in therapy, and I've been in contact with their therapist because I believe it was ordered that once they get released from their therapist, we could start therapeutic visits with Twee.
Okay. You had stated that mom was graduating one of the programs today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the next step for mom?
I'm not exactly sure what the next step is. I do believe she has more freedom. She did get a job. Let me report that. She is going to start working at Burlington Coat Factory. So she'll be able to leave to go to work, and I believe she'll be able to leave to go to AA meetings. But she'll have a curfew, and I believe that is the next step, just to leave for work and for meetings for her recovery.
Okay. Do you know when the job starts? Do you know when all of that does start?
She just got hired. She was supposed to start yesterday, I believe, but they would not let her at the Haven because she needed to graduate ARAD, and that is today. So you would have to, I don't know her start date, sorry.
Okay. All right. And as far as Miss Lucero's client, we kind of talked about that. Do you have any contact, a way of contact? Do you have the social media contacts to try to get in touch with him?
No, but I can get that information from Twee, and I can reach out and try to contact him as well.
Okay. And I believe Miss Lucero asked for that information too, so she'll be trying to find him also. But other than that, you've tried to find him monthly?
Yes, sir. I've gone as far as contacting the Mexican consulate, but they've had no luck because there's a missing last name, and I was also going to get with Miss No to see if I could get his full name.
Okay. All right. Anything else you need to request of the court or notify the court of today?
No, no, sir.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, anybody have any questions for Ms. Tidwell?
No question. Just as always, I want to thank Ms. Tidwell she always stays in good contact with me on all of my clients, and I appreciate her hard work. Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Judge.
No questions, Your Honor.
Just for everybody's edification, the other thing that factors into this is the baby. And we've had a recent case addressed by the Court of Appeals about the sibling bond and the importance of that. And just so everyone knows, that is another major factor in my granting the extension today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Katie, what are our dates? Next review hearing and
Judge, I put them in the chat. Are you guys not getting them?
no, I just didn't see, I didn't see
Oh,
it
okay.
post. Sorry.
Well, I just want to make sure I'm running on a older system today.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we're gonna set a review January 27th at 9 on a 9 o'clock docket. And then our final will be set for April 7th on a 9 o'clock docket. Okay. Thank you all very much. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Judge. Twee, don't go anywhere. We're up next as well. And Judge, I'm going to take 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
I'll start getting who we need in, if there's anybody else we need in right now.
Thank you, Judge.
Maybe we have everybody, I don't know.
We got everybody, Judge.
Okay. In the interest of Giselle, no, we're here today for our status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming and Ms. Taylor's making our record. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the department. Angela Tidwell is my permanency specialist. We were present ready, Your Honor.
Vince Noack on behalf of Twee, no, we're both present ready, Judge.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, thank y'all. Okay. Ms. Tidwell, we've in our prior hearing, we've kind of covered how mom's doing, how's Giselle doing, and then Mr. De Leon or Mr. Zagala.
Yes, ma'am. Today, Giselle turns 2 months old. She's doing well in the care of her caregivers. She's current on all of her medical. She's healthy. She eats well. She's bonded to Gabby and Abel. They're excited to have their baby sister in their home. As far as an update, I don't think the update I have for Mr. De Leon is there is a paternity test scheduled for him and Giselle on October 6th and October 7th for the paternity testing. And I was able to make contact with Jose Martinez on September 16th. And now that I found him, it would be nice, I know he's not present, to maybe order that paternity test on him as well, just in case Mr. De Leon is not Giselle's father. The update for Twee, she starts work at Burlington Coat Factory. On the court report, I had not received her September drug screen. Her urinalysis came back negative, Your Honor. And we have increased visits with Giselle to 2 hours a week on Wednesdays with Twee.
And Your Honor, we have family plans of service for mom and Mr. De Leon have been signed and filed. For Jose Martinez, they have been filed but have not signed.
Do we still have this problem about the genetic testing, about doing another one before we get this other one back? And
We can ask, Your Honor. I'm sure they're probably going to want us to see what this first one says before they do. I mean, we can try to get it in the works. Do you have, Mr. Tidwell, do you have his current location and how to get up with him when you need to?
Yes, I have his address.
Okay, all right. If you can send that to us, and we'll try to get all that information in and see if we can get it, but like I said, Mr. De Leon's supposed to test on the 7th. The child's swab is supposed to be on the 6th, yeah.
okay. Well, we'll hopefully then have that back before too awfully long. I mean, we're still early in the case, so. Okay, so
And
let's
Your
just wait
Honor,
and get his back.
Your Honor, as far as Mr. Martinez, we've tried to serve him at the address that we have, and I have not been able to catch him and get him served yet. So he's still unserved.
Has Mr. De Leon been given paperwork to apply for an attorney?
Ms. Tidwell?
I have not given him that paperwork, but I sure can get that to him as soon as possible.
Yeah, he needs that right away.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Noack?
No questions, Judge.
All right, Ms. Zavala, anything today?
Your Honor, I've gotten to see Giselle twice in person. She's doing really good, and I think, as I made clear in the previous hearing, my position regarding Giselle is different from the other kids because she hasn't undergone the same past trauma. So I do recommend that visitation continue and that placement continue.
All right, thank you. Okay, then, gonna order the service plan as an order of the court. I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the baby's current placement, find a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. I find that mother is in compliance. I mean, we're just ordering these, but we all know she's working services in the other case, so, and I'll see everybody back for our initial permanency hearing on January 27th of 2026. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Yes, ma'am.
we're gonna start putting these on the same track.
Okay.
The two cases, so, okay. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. No, continued work hard.
Yes, ma'am.
In the interest of Aiden Chavez and Juan Chavez, we're here today on a review hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming. And Ms. Taylor is making our record this morning. All right, we'll take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the department. Juan Heredia is my privacy specialist. We're present ready.
Lori and Lucero on behalf of the mother, Anayeli, Chavez, Olea, Your Honor, we're both present ready.
Vince Noack on behalf of Efren Morales, an unknown alleged father. I have had zero contact with him since being appointed, Judge. Thank you.
Brooks Barfield from Juan Herrera. I'm in the same boat with my client that Mr. Noack is with his. We've had no contact with our client, but I'm ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the boys.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Morales, I'm gonna just swear you in real quickly. You promise as always to translate accurately from English to Spanish and Spanish back to English for us today? All right, sir. Okay, then, Mr. Trout, who's gonna give us the update? Mr. Heredia?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Heredia, you can go ahead.
All right. Both of the boys are doing very well in their placement. They are growing and thriving, as well as very bonded with their placement. In regards to health, Aiden, who is 9 months old, is hitting age-appropriate milestones. He's growing and standing now and starting to make efforts to try and walk. He kind of got a little bit ahead of himself. He kind of over jumped ahead, and instead of crawling, he's trying to get himself a little bit more mobile. Juan is also doing very well. Recently, Juan did have a procedure to have tubes put in his ears. There was a concern initially about him having some hearing loss. During the time of the procedure, it was found that there was really just fluid within his ears, and they do not suspect any hearing damage at this time. That is still being overseen, of course. Juan does receive some specialized skills training 4 times a month. He gets behavior therapy 2 times a month, and he has speech therapy 3 times a month. He is speaking more and doing well. Again, both children continue to thrive, doing very well. They are now being cared for within the home instead of at daycare. There were some changes within the home, and it was decided by the fosters to care for the children at home, and that has suited everyone well. In regards to parents, as far as Anayeli, she has been having visits with the children. She has virtual visits with them. She has, they are broken up into half-hour increments twice a week. So she does have those visits. She has not seen the children in person since May. The children do recognize her and wave to her and do know who she is. But it would suit the children more potentially if Anayeli could somehow make a in-person visit as she had before. Anayeli still needs to complete quite a few of her services, particularly those being her wave has not been completed. She has not had an OSAR evaluation, and she has not set up with a counselor. Previously, Anayeli was living in New Mexico. She has now relocated to Texas in Houston. She is living with family members. That is something else that Anayeli needs to do, is find and establish herself a independent living situation. She is working. She did provide a letter from her employer. She is working currently, but it would be better for her if it was something that was possibly more consistent. It is at a food truck, and she also works in doing cleaning. Also, to where, I mean, if she had a potentially more stable working environment, it could also be more helpful for her and for the children. She has maintained contact with the department. She has gone for her routine drug screens. Her drug screens have been negative. The most recent one that was just received was for the end of September, and it was negative as well. After that, of course, she still has to do her OSAR, and she has to do her relapse prevention plan.
Ms. Judge, if I may.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Heredia, at the last hearing, there was it was an ICP home study that was ordered while mom was living in New Mexico. My understanding, during the middle of that, mom relocated to Houston. Has there been any type of home study run on mom, and where is she living right now?
There has not been a home study done to where she is living now. Again, she is living with family. She's living with some cousins. That is what she reports. So a study as far as where she is living now has not been completed.
Okay. How long has she been? Last I heard, she was kind of couch surfing and going back and forth between Santa Fe and Houston. How long has she been permanently with this family in Houston?
She has been there approximately since late July.
Okay. Has the home study been started?
No, sir.
Okay. That was court ordered at the last hearing, so that needs to, I know that was ordered from New Mexico at that time, but we need to look at a home study on this family at this time.
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. I just wanted to clear that part up.
Okay. Well, some of these services, I would assume we would have an easier time getting done now that she's back in Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem with us initiating a home study, or has she indicated that the kids could be there in that home?
Your
No,
Honor, I'm sorry, Mr. Heredia. Go ahead. I can
Go
just ask.
right ahead. Go right ahead,
Okay.
Ms. Lucero.
Your Honor, I didn't know if you wanted me to answer that question, let him answer, or I can ask Ms. Chavez when it gets to my turn.
If you know the answer, that's fine. I mean,
It's my understanding that she had moved there into Houston I thought it was June, and I can clarify that with her. She is living with family. I didn't know if she does want the children there with her. So my question would be, if she's the parent, why would there be, I guess, a home study required? I guess I'm kind of lost on that.
well, just because we've got other people in the home that, if she were living by herself independently, that would be one consideration, but there are other people in the home, and
And I understand that, Your Honor.
it would be, I mean, it's information, for instance, do they own this home? I mean, what's the stability of that home? I mean, what's the size of the home? Who all is there? I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons why I would want a home study on it.
And I understand that, Your Honor. I would address at this time, as far as my concerns with the home study, it's not that the folks aren't improper or anything like that, but it's my understanding that there's not going to be documentation, to do homes, to check. I guess they could probably do if CPS has been involved, or there's any kind of criminal history or anything like that. But as far as, I mean, the court's aware that the reason that Ms. Chavez works the way that she does is that's the only way she can work. I mean, she can't go into a place and apply and fill out a 9-9 and get a job. So that's what I'm trying to clarify for the court. And I think the folks that she lives with is the same way.
And Mr. Heredia, is that why you've referenced she needs to get independent living?
Yes, Your Honor. Anayeli had reported that she does, both herself and her family tend to be a little bit guarded as far as offering up information at times, just for fear, because of the families and extended family situation.
So they might be very reluctant to even participate in the home study.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I guess we can still focus on trying to get the other services worked and see what develops as far as her housing situation. I am concerned about the lack of in-person visits. So where are the children placed?
They're in Lubbock.
In Lubbock, Your Honor.
Okay. Does mom have any ability to travel here to Lubbock to see the children at any time, or?
I believe she, she doesn't have her own transportation, Your Honor. She would probably have to depend on family, but she advised that she's trying to get down here as soon as she can. When now that she might actually be further now that she's in Houston, but at least she's in Texas, so I did talk to her a little bit about that yesterday evening, but I can ask her here in a bit about her, in-person visits.
Okay. All right, Mr. Heredia, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lucero?
I just had a few questions, Mr. Heredia. Mr. Heredia, when did you become the caseworker on this case?
Approximately in August.
In August, okay. And so do you know whether the prior worker set up, the remainder of Anayeli's services there in Houston? Because I know you're stating that the ones that she needs, the reason I ask is she's advised me that she has reached out to try to go get those set up, but as far as like 2054s or places for her to do that, that hasn't been set up. So
yeah, we can get those set up. I know some of it had to do with during the time that the case was transferred over. She was still kind of commuting back and forth, and before it came over to me, what she had relayed to the previous caseworker was she wasn't sure if she was actually going to settle in Houston, as that situation wasn't exactly not necessarily permanent at the time, but she wasn't really sure if she was going to be able to stay there or not. So that can be set up and established, of course.
Okay. All right. And do you know, according to your records, when she advised the worker that she wasn't sure if she was going to stay in Houston?
This would have been, gosh, in July.
Okay. All right. And then I guess she needs to still begin the WAVE program. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And her counseling?
Yes.
And I know that the OSAR is part of her service plan, but she's been tested negative for an extended period of time. Is that a main priority right now?
Not at this time. The main thing would be just for her to have her, a psychosocial, and from there to see what type of therapies or behavior services she may need.
Okay. And if the family that she's living with let me ask you this, is there a courtesy worker yet that has gone out to the home?
That is being set up for her also.
And that courtesy worker, if the family members are willing, she could find out who they are and do whatever kind of background check she's able to do with the information that they provide.
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Lucero, anything else to inform the court of today?
No, I was nothing to inform. I was just going to clarify with Ms. Chavez about visits and things like that when it gets to be my turn on that, Your Honor.
Well, you can go ahead and do it right now if you want.
Okay. Ms. Chavez? When did you move to Houston permanently? Now, when you moved there permanently, did you let your worker know that you had relocated permanently to Houston? Okay. Okay. And did all right. And you're currently living with a couple of cousins, is that correct? Okay. And you understand? Okay. And you do understand that the department or St. Francis will send someone out there to see where you're living and who's living in your home? Do you understand that? Okay. And so you'd need to provide that information, where you live, things like that to Mr. Heredia. Do you understand that? Okay. All right. And Ms. Chavez, do you have any plans to travel to Lubbock to see your children anytime soon? Or can you travel to Lubbock to see your children? Okay. Do you know when that will be approximately? Okay. Okay. So you do understand it's important that you begin seeing your kids face to face on a regular basis, right? Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Chavez, are you willing for someone from the department to see your home where you're living? And are your cousins okay with that? Are they renting or do they own this home? Are you on the lease? Is it all right? Is it okay for you to be living there? I mean, is it acceptable to the landlord? How big is it? Is there room for the children? Would they share a room with you, or how would that work? But would they share that room with you? And then your cousins would be in another bedroom? Okay. Do you have any way to get to Lubbock to see the children? Can you do that anytime soon? All right, I'm gonna want Mr. Heredia to talk with you at some point and try to get something scheduled and set up for you to see the kids. Mr. Heredia, because of the distance, obviously I'd like that to be for as long a visit as it could possibly be.
Yes, Your Honor. We could even, I mean, depending how long she's there, I mean, if she's were to be there, let's say at least 2 days, she could get consecutive visits back to back, extended period, of course.
Okay. Mr. Heredia, how long has she been negative on her drug screens?
On her drug screens, Your Honor, she's been negative pretty much on all of them. Give me just a second. She hadn't had one really since the baby was born.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd been negative January, March, May, August, September.
All right. Okay, Ms. Lucero, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Barfield, anything today?
No, Judge, unless somebody finds my client, there's not much I can do.
All right, Mr. Noack?
Likewise, Judge, I'm in the same situation as Brooks. I suspect the department has made efforts to find to find my guy and to find Brooks's guy. I got nothing to add, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, Kelly's gotten to see the boys in person just recently. They're doing really well. Aiden might have some issue with his left shoulder that they're just going to get checked out. He's just kind of not using it as much as you would think. Juan's speech has gotten a lot better. Before moving to this placement, he only had about 15 words. He's got about 26 now. He's making some progress and working with ECI. So the boys are doing really good. It sounds like mom is making her virtual visits. It does sound like sometimes those visits take place as she's walking through the grocery store or things like that. It might be a little bit better for her to be seated and focused on the kids, but she's there, she's interacting with the kids, she's getting it done. So the boys are doing really well. And I do recommend that placement continue at this time. And I would love to see mom be able to have some in-person visits.
Good. All right, we are coming up on a dismissal date of December 22nd. And as everybody knows, I mean, we haven't extended the case. That's always an option. I'm I'm really less concerned about the drug issue at this point in time because, you know, mom's been tested negative for us for such a long period of time now. And I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at this realistically. We've got some hurdles that in this situation that we may not have in other cases. I am not so concerned about her achieving independent living. I mean, the cousins may be a good support system for her and the children. I'd like the department, obviously, to see that home and check it out. I'm not going to require her to do the OSAR in the relapse prevention. What I want her to concentrate on is, you know, if she needs a second job or to find something that maybe gives her more hours. And I understand the challenges as Ms. Lucero has talked about it. I get that. But what I'd really like to see between now and December is for her to try to achieve, you know, some financial stability. I'd like for her to do the waive just because I think there's some very good information for her there moving forward. And the same with the counseling. So if we can get her set up to get started with the counselor. And quite frankly, if we can get her started with the counselor, I think they could cover the waive issues. And let's try to boil this down a little bit. So if we can get her started with the counselor, I'm happy if they will cover the dynamics that typically are covered in waive. You guys all know I'm about one-stop shopping in certain situations. So let's focus on that, on getting her with the counselor. Let's focus on financial stability. And I'll be honest, what I'm really thinking about is come December, we do a monitored return. If the living situation, if the home is acceptable, and I understand it may be crowded, but these are little ones. And so that's what I'm looking for in the next few months. So I want to make sure Ms. Chavez understands what I really want her to focus on: the counseling and her job situation and financial stability. And then to be able to visit in person with the kids as many times as she can between now and then. Okay, anybody got a big problem with any of that? Speak now.
No, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Chavez, you understand what I'm wanting you to do for the next few months? Okay. All right, then. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the children's current placement. We're going to wrap up mom's services into just the counselor, cover the waive there, drop the OSAR. Ms. Chavez, it's really important your drug tests stay negative, because if you have a positive test, that's going to bring in a whole new set of issues. I'll find that there would be a continuing danger to return the children home today, but that mom is in compliance and working services. Fathers are obviously not in compliance. I'll see y'all back December 11th, 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Mr. Heredia, let's get the home checked out as soon as we can. So that we know if there's some issues there. In other words, if it's just completely not acceptable, then she's got some time to work on alternate housing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Y'all want me to send you to mediation before December? Or you think this is something everybody can just talk about?
I think it's probably something everybody can talk about, Your Honor.
I do too. I
I
mean,
agree.
the dads are obviously not an issue at this point in time, so
Yeah.
unless, you know, Mr. Noack or Mr. Barfield just feel contentious, which, you know, they're both capable of being.
When I subbed for Brooks the other day, I promise you, Brooks, I was not contentious.
He was a perfect Southern gentleman the other day. Okay. Well, I mean, everybody kind of knows what direction I'm leaning at this point, but we'll see what we find out about the home and what else might need to be done. So, okay. All right, Ms. Chavez, best of luck to you. Concentrate hard on those few tasks. Okay, thank y'all. I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.